Stop feeling threatened by individual people building their brand. They're going to do it anyway. Help them do it well in a way that's consistent with the brand values of the company.
Welcome back, everybody, and I've got Tony Hughes with me again. Hello, Tony.
Hey, John.
It's great to be together again, Tony, and particularly in this beautiful setting here, which is Tony's home. The swimming pool out there, the open garden, etc. Really relaxed environment.
Okay.
Hey, I have a bugbear, and that is, in this day and age, most individuals that work in big corporates have a brand themselves, digital brand. They're on LinkedIn, Facebook, a whole host of different platforms. Some of them are commenting and adding, and they put out a brand. And some of those brands are very powerful. In fact, in some cases, the personal brands can be more powerful than the company brand.
Yeah.
And yet, I'm finding the corporates aren't leveraging that. The corporates aren't, one, helping the individual think about how they should build the brand and build it more effectively. And secondly, they're not looking at ways in which they can have a win-win with their employers and align the brands with the corporate brand and make sure they're projecting well out to the marketplace. What leverage they're missing out on?
Yeah, I agree, and I see the same thing. So I think a lot of employers feel threatened by employees building their own brand. Most employers, the way they feel is that people should build our corporate brand, our product brand, not build their own brands. But the reality is, for buyers, their journey normally starts online. And even if we proactively run outreach at a potential prospect, if they're at all thinking about engaging with us, 3/4 of those people will go have a look at us online before they choose to engage. And whether you do a Google search or whether you start in LinkedIn, someone's LinkedIn profile is normally the thing that pops up. So because it's an individual running outreach at somebody, they go to see, well, who is this individual? And then they discover there's a company behind them. So I agree, personal brand is massively important.
And we teach these days that people must build their domain expertise and project their domain expertise to their customers so that they can have meaningful conversations at a peer level with senior executives.
Yeah.
If that isn't reflected in your brand, the individual's doing themselves a big disservice, but the company's just missing out on a major opportunity. All their people can project a brand where it's value for customers.
Yeah.
And they're just missing out on it.
Well, the reality is people buy from the individual first and then the company and the product or solution that's behind them. So you definitely want alignment. The thing is, the person's LinkedIn profile is their own real estate on the internet. It doesn't belong to their employer. But I think employers should help people create a good professional brand that's consistent with the values of the company.
The question is how. And the things that I think companies need to be cognizant of is a personal brand is a personal brand. It's not the company brand, and they can't tell individuals to build a brand that's totally 100% the company. A personal brand needs to be authentic. It needs to be open and honest. It needs to project that individual's unique promise of value.
Yeah.
Right? So a company can't say, hey, this is what we want you to do on your brand. What they can do is coach and train.
They can.
And help them think through things like, what is your unique promise of value? How are you going to project that?
Yeah.
What stories have you got to tell? Maybe you need to write that. We can help you write it and publish it in the digital world, on LinkedIn or whatever. There's lots of things companies can do, and they can also, it's of advantage to the individual to have their brand aligned with a corporate brand while they're working with that corporate. So how we can coach them on how they can do that alignment, so make it a win-win between the company brand and the individual's brand.
Yeah, but here's where all of that falls down, because I agree it's important where it all falls down. The problem is that most salespeople can't write, right? So it's hard to build a digital online brand well if you can't write. So I think employers can help their people with the writing piece. So
either coaching or
even
editing,
courses, training, editing, helping them frame up what they should write about. So I personally think that if you can't write today, you can't sell. But I think that salespeople need to think about, what are the common objections that I get? What are the insights that I want to show? And what's the agenda that I want to set with the people I'm engaging with? So if you get a common objection of, I don't have time to meet with salespeople, then you need to write an article that talks about how 20 minutes or 40 minutes with you can give somebody back 10 hours. investing some time with you in this area will dramatically de-risk what they're doing. So take common objections and adopt the positive opposite. Think about where's the value that I can provide someone in a conversation in advance of ever talking about my company or products. And if I can't get that in writing and show it as an article or something in my LinkedIn profile, how am I ever going to carry it as a conversation?
And it's not just the articles, it's writing my profile, writing the summary on my LinkedIn and
all of those things.
And Facebook and wherever else you are.
Yeah.
And getting that done not done professionally, but make sure it's presented as professional, be professional.
Yes,
absolutely critical.
So you talk about your promise of value instead of your job title. Your summary is not your work history. It actually talks about the insights and value you can provide somebody. So they definitely need to focus on that, and they need the help of their employer.
And the leverage for the employer is incredible. You now have all your staff, if you do it properly, with really strong customer-focused brands.
Yeah.
And you just that leverage across the corporate world and outside, across partners and so on, can be enormous.
It absolutely can be, and every business should select a few brand champions that they build their amplification strategy around, right? So what you want is people that you're not worried about leaving the business, right? They're the CEO, the founder, those kinds of people. Mm-hmm. Create awesome content from those people within LinkedIn that also references across maybe to the company blog, but then get all of your sales reps amplifying those publishing efforts, right? To actually create the ripple effect. So marketing should look at all of the individuals as another marketing channel, but the issue is you can't push into that channel what the audience would perceive as spam. It cannot
it's
be
got to
about
be
the
a
company.
pull more than a push.
It's got to be something that's definitely of value. So every seller, every salesperson needs to sort out building a personal brand, because 3/4 of people come and look, but then they need to create some insights and set the agenda and proactively kill off objections with content that they publish. And the act of writing that kind of content is the best sales training a person will often have, because it forces clarity in the conversations that they want to have.
I agree. So let's summarise.
Yep.
The whole idea of aligned personal brands with the corporate brand together, delivering value out to the market, is extremely powerful, and it's a gold mine that's not being mined by most organisations.
Yeah, that's true.
That's number one. Number two is we have to get executives and leaders in organisations understanding that people do have a personal brand, and you're much better off empowering that rather than stamping it down. Empowering it, leveraging it, aligning it, and building the power into the company brand.
Yeah, and stop feeling threatened by individual people building their brand. They're going to do it anyway. Help them do it well in a way that's consistent with the brand values of the company.
Great way to finish. Thank you very much, Tony.
Thanks, John.